traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1342nd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni, and of course that would be me. Good evening, traders. This video, again, the 1342nd edition of these educational videos, is coming to you on a Thursday night for Trading Friday. That would be July 10th, 2015. Traders, as we know, let me warn you, if you don't know this, futures trading is absolutely, positively, unequivocally very risky. These markets are whipping around like crazy, so you need to make sure that you know it is not for every trader. You must have risk capital to lose. Never trade without stops. A stop is absolutely your best friend in this environment, because if you freeze, at least it should knock you out of the trade, because if you got no stop and you freeze, guess what? It just keeps on going against you. So put your stops in. All right, so enough of that. On the board, emini, S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Transportation Average, Russell are still sellers of rallies to the OMNI. Now, I told you that in last night's video, and it went up, and we sold, and it came all the way down, and we got out break even, and then it dumped. I'm sorry, OmniX. All right, whatever. We'll stay in tomorrow, I promise. All right, so, what's on the board? My sweet Auntie Jay is going to speak tomorrow. Hello, Aunt Janet. I love you, sweetheart. I'll have breakfast with you in the morning. I'll make sure someone sets a bath for you if you need, whatever it takes. Get these markets moving, all right? Anyway, my sweet Auntie Jay, Janet Yellen's going to speak tomorrow. I don't know. I think she might not have what it takes this time around to send these markets back up to new highs. Because just about every time she speaks, we end up at new highs or close to them. I don't know she's going to have what it takes this time to completely turn this move. Maybe, just maybe, she will. She'll come out, throw a few punches, the market will go, but I don't know over the next 2 days whether this market can be pulled back to new highs just with Fed speak. We'll see. So we'll find out. I showed you that wacky chart for the last couple of days, and today it sure did look like it was starting to work out, right? That pattern, that should take us higher, but we'll look at that. I don't know. Maybe it's getting a little old now. We'll see. Bear flags are flying all over the indices charts. Those bear flags are much more visible to traders around the world than that crazy formation I've been showing you on the X, my repetitive pattern. So let's just work with the bear flags for now and see where they go. And I've got a new chart masterpiece to debut this evening, a wonderful pointer, if you will. And I want you to see that pointing chart. I love the chart. So, Auntie J speaks tomorrow. My view, looking at the chart, says no matter what she says, bounce or not, it's not enough to take us to new highs, and we continue our downward path. We'll see. I'm not saying the top is in by any means. We've had a pullback. I don't think it's over yet. We'll find out shortly. Let's go look at those bear flags. I want to show you chart masterpiece. It's very exciting. So we're going to start off selling the rallies in these indices, and we'll see where they go. Traders, with no further ado, let's go look at some charts.
My name is Sam Kelly. I'm coming from Ibiza, Spain. And I came to OMNI because a good friend of mine told me Oscar Carboni is the man about trading. I expected nothing, because I didn't know who Oscar Carboni was. So I read something on the internet and I closed it. And I said, okay, first I want to do the OMNI camp, and then afterwards I'll make my opinion about it. And it was much more than I could imagine. After this OMNI camp you become a real trader. There's so much inside information in his whole life, his experience. Yeah, you cannot think about it. It's amazing. What he says, it really works. So I'm going home tomorrow, and I'm so excited. So in about 24 hours I'm back home, and then I start trading right away. I definitely recommend people to come to OMNI camp because you become a real trader. I told you before, he's no bullshit man. What he tells you, it works. It's real time. There's no stories, no fixed charts. Everybody is real time chart, and what he tells you, it works. It's very simple, but yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, traders, the emini S&P daily bar chart in my crazy mind happens to recognize repetitive patterns and timing patterns. And this, I believe, is one. You've got a 7-piece pattern here. I believe this is the same thing. And when you got right to here, you had 4 bars and the market exploded. So it looked like this was going to be the same sort of action, but now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. Maybe it's getting a little old in the tooth here, a little long in the tooth. So let's just say for now this is nothing. If it starts to pan out, we'll trade it up. Let's say this is nothing for now, and let's go to the real meat and potatoes. What's going on in these markets that we know we can count on, as opposed to that repetitive pattern? You can count on bear flags. Transportation average, head and shoulders, goes to a bear flag, drops down to another bear flag. We've got a projection. This projection I showed you in last night's video still holds, whether it gets there in a day or two or a week or two or a month. This is a projection that we're going to hold on to unless we reverse completely. So that's your transportation average. Then you've got the E-mini S&P, and these charts are interesting, traders. This is my OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average. It's a rare occasion that you get under it very deeply, and if you do, it turns into a move. Held its own, held its own, held its own. Got down just a little, but held its own. Held its own, held its own, held its own. This time, goes down, makes this bear flag. Here's your pole. Here's the flag. Breaks down into another. Now you can just take the pole and continue and call the whole thing a bear flag. It should end up down here, just like this did, because it's rare that you stay under the Omni average. But if you do stay under the Omni average, it seems to be deep. So that is certainly one chart that I want you to see. Then you've got the Russell 2000 daily bar. Once again, you do not spend much time or go too far underneath OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary. However, look at this. You went down, stayed down, tried to get above, came back down, tried to get above, came back down. Now you're just building bars underneath it. That's a lot of bars and a lot of play underneath that average in the form of a bear flag, of course, like the other ones are. So, wow, we're looking at some downside possibly continuing unless Aunt Janet can pull us out of this hole. NASDAQ. This chart, I'm going to show you 2 versions of it. A very interesting chart. Pay attention. If you may recognize, I've shown this to you in many videos. We had the flat top, and I thought that was a bit troublesome. We started to get lower highs and lower lows in the S&P chart, and that I thought was troublesome. Now we started to break down. We broke down. Remember, if you recall a few videos back, we talked about this being an actual breakaway gap, and it should go lower. It did do that. After the breakaway gap, now it starts to get interesting. It creates a bear flag, breaks down out of the bear flag, and now is just gyrating and turning into another one. So this looks bearish. The breakaway gap has not been filled yet, and you're nowhere near it. Unless Auntie J can take us all the way up here and fill that gap, the likelihood is we continue to head lower, because that's what bear flags usually produce. So this is the NASDAQ. It's an up-close version. I want you to look at this very same chart now, but I'm going to take you out a little bit of time we're going to look at. NASDAQ, the same chart, Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, but note this. A very rare occasion that you take out this average, and if you do, it is a dip. This is a big dip right here, a huge dip right here. We're in a dip. If this is going to match this or that, you're coming down to here in your NASDAQ before this is over. I'm not saying it drops all in one day, and it may never get there, but using repetitive patterns, once you establish some time below the OTAPMA, you end up putting in something about this big. So we'll project out and see where it goes. Let's see if that actually works. History does usually repeat itself. Chart masterpiece. I'm going to give this one a round of applause, traders. This could be the only chart I need to show you all evening, and here's why. Once again, it's my OTAPMA, the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average. Look at it's such a magnet for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's unbelievable. It got down here, bounced, got down here, bounced, got down here, monster bounce, got down here, monster bounce. It's going to get down here. That right now is at least 500 plus points below where we settled today. At least 500. So minimum 500 points if we wanted to come and touch that average. the market would have to go down, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, to catch that average. But look at this. It is a magnet. This goes back so far you would be amazed. I can't fit it all on one chart. And it always looks like this. That happens to be a magnet. This is what should come next, and that's at least 500 more points shaved off the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Traders, there's no guarantee any of this is going to happen. We live by repetitive patterns, but there's no guarantee they will actually repeat once again. Come on down to livewithoscar.com. Let me show you how to view these charts. Come to my live trading room. And remember, always do your own analysis before taking anybody else's judgment off of a chart. So, traders, you've seen the chart. You've got my technical reasoning behind Auntie J maybe not having the strength that it takes this time to send us to new highs. Bear flags are flying all over the place. I don't care if you want to call them beer flags while you're drinking or bear flags while you're bear hunting. These things look like they're going down right now. Not every bear flag works, but I will tell you this. You go through my 1,342 videos, you will find dozens and dozens of videos that say, a flag is a flag is a flag, and you see how many of those worked out. Flags generally work out. Why shouldn't all the flags that are there on the indices charts? Then, of course, that chart masterpiece, I don't know if it comes today, tomorrow, next week, or next month, but that is a magnet, and we should see that average down there. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're looking for. A little bit of that is short-term, a little bit of it is long-term, but you know what I'm getting at. So I can't put an arrow on this board lately because it goes up and down so often in the day. Yeah, how could you hold anybody to an arrow? So we'll start off selling rallies. You never know if we end up long, but we're starting off selling rallies for trading on Friday. Traders, if you like the analysis that you're seeing in these videos, and let me tell you this about the analysis in these videos, if you don't come to my live chat room, livewithoscar.com, and go to OMNI chat, you'll never know what actually happens during the day because I can't hold the markets in one spot. I do this video. It's 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday night. I cannot hold these markets until tomorrow for you to see the video and blah, blah, blah. So sometimes the markets go in a different direction and we reverse and we trade differently. You'll only know that if you come to livewithoscar.com and check out our chat room. I also give out live trading recommendations in the chat room, so come on down and check us out. Now, one last thing. Omni campers, I know a lot of you have been interested. 3 seats are gone, 2 seats left. September's Omni Camp is starting to sell out. If you want to train here in Vegas with me and study how to come up with Oscar's Market Navigational Indicator, if you would like to do that, come on down to livewithoscar.com, fill out the Omni Camp banner, just click it, fill it out. There's some testimonials there. You fill out the banner, I get an email, and I'll call you back. It is for September 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, and there's only a few seats left. I'm actually looking for new traders that do not have a whole lot of chart technique background, that haven't been taught too much, that are basically fresh canvases for me to help paint. If you are a fresh canvas, you don't know all that much about analysis, and you believe in the Omni, you should come out to this Omni Camp. You are the person I'm looking for. So I'll turn away a few applicants. Hopefully I'll get the good ones. Traders, remember, keep your emotions out of this crazy game, and always, always, always get the stop in first and just stay calm. Listen, when you give a stop, you've already spent that money. Remember, when you place a stop, think about how much it would cost to get hit. Pretend you spent the money already. If the stop gets hit, so be it. If not, you feel lucky. That will help to keep you calm. Another thing you can do to stay calm is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll, traders. I'll see you all at livewithoscar.com. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.